Greetings, my name is Cosmic, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing you the fifth and final part of my series of guides showing you how to build a historically inspired castle in Minecraft. This is Castle Caramel. We are all done building the walls, towers, and other main structures of the castle. In the final part of the series, I want to show you all what you can put into the bailey of a castle. The bailey, also known as the courtyard, is the open space within the walls of a castle. This space could be divided up and utilized for a number of purposes. These could include the basic essentials, such as a well for water, storage for food and firewood, and animal pens. They could also rarely feature other structures, like a blacksmith forge or a chapel. Please note that not everything I mentioned in this video was present in every single castle bailey, nor does this list include every possible item that could be found in a bailey. Alright, so here we are, and we're going to start building the bailey. Now this is going to be a little bit different from my previous videos. There's a bunch of little things here and there throughout the bailey I'm going to be building, and just because they're smaller structures, each part's going to be pretty quick, so just try to follow along and keep up. Alrighty, so first things first, we're going to build a shelter for firewood. Now of course heat is not a mechanic in Minecraft, but this castle is supposed to be somewhat historically inspired, so I figured I'd include a place for firewood, which actually in my Epic Nights video, which is what I used this castle for, I used that background of the quote firewood as a sort of storage for making the poles and hilts of the various weapons of Epic Nights. But yeah, it's just going to be a simple, low, slanted roof just to keep the firewood dry. We're going to create 4 posts out of oak logs. The back ones are going to be 4 blocks tall, and the front ones are going to be 3 blocks tall. This shelter is going to be 5 blocks deep, and it is going to be 7 blocks long in total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 blocks of space in between the rear posts. And then we'll take deep slate tile slabs. And what I'll do is build all the way across, and then we'll create a couple of rows. That's slab down. Another couple of rows down a little further so that it's on top of these front posts. And then one more coming down in front so that it looks a little more complete. There we go. Then we can take some sconces or torches, whatever you're using, place them just to light up the area sufficiently. And then you can take spruce logs, strip spruce logs, any type of logs you really want to use. Honestly, I just wanted to use something a little different from the oak posts so that you can clearly see which is which. And just, you can do this a little haphazardly. I am looking at screenshots right next to me just so I can build it about as accurately as possible to the original build. I just am a little nitpicky like that. So but you don't have to build it as accurate as this. Like I said, just make it haphazard, and that's really it. I mean, just stack up logs of firewood, and that's what you got right there. Now, just to mention, you could also have storage for food on the outside of a castle. It would be a more enclosed space than this, have actual walls set up, but I already had food storage on the inside of the castle, which is a little more ideal, but if you are on a tighter budget, food on the outside is not a bad idea. I also mentioned that you could have pens for your animals, which is pretty normal for Minecraft, honestly. Just taking some oak fences, creating an enclosed space right here. And I also decided to just put some hay bales right here so that the animals had something to eat. I put a loom over right about here, and I just put some sheep in here, which, you can put whatever animals you want in there. I just chose sheep just for the sake of it. Actually, for Epic Nights, I needed wool to make the banners and some of the armor, like gambesons, so that's why the loom is here too. And yeah, I mean, that's as simple as you can get. Moving away from the loud noises of the sheep over there, we're going to build a well to be a source of water for this castle. Now, a water source for a castle could be a well on the inside if you're lucky enough, or you could have like a nearby stream, river, or lake to serve as a water source. Maybe for drinking water, but it could also be for, water for bathing. But I decided to go with a well right here. And what we're going to do is take just plain old andesite, place 3 blocks like that, and a slab right in the middle. And then we will dig 1, 2, 3, I think 4 blocks down. Go down here, we'll take cobblestone, replace all the blocks on the bottom around us with cobblestone. And we'll actually put the water here at the bottom too. And then we'll replace all the blocks on the sides with andesite. So that's stone all the way up to the well. Then we can take some andesite walls, place them right like that. And a couple of spruce fences. Then we'll create a little roof for this well with deep slate tile slabs. And they have a couple different options for the actual mechanism of the well. If you're using vanilla Minecraft, you can use a grindstone and chains to create the winch and a chain just to hang down from it. Or you could take a pulley block and a rope from supplementaries and, yep, place it like that. And actually want some rope in there. And then I think we can, yep, have it come down by one just by shift and right clicking it. Actually, hang on. There we go. We want the rope to be on this side so that it's not just touching the fence right there. There we go. That's how we want it to look like. So that is the well for the castle Bailey. I swear this sheep is going to be the death of me. Gosh, they're so loud. Anyway, next. Yes, we have a pen for our sheep right here or any other animals, but if we have some more expensive, prestigious animals, we might want to put them in some better pens, like, say, stables for horses. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some oak logs, we're going to create some posts. On the back, they're going to be 4 high, and then 2 blocks forward, they're going to be 3 blocks high. And we're going 2 blocks over, another 2 blocks over, and finally another 2 blocks over. So we're going to have 3 separate stable pens. That are going to be 2 blocks wide and 4 blocks deep at the moment. I'm going to build up the rest of the posts right here. And then what we can do is take some spruce trap doors, create some walls here. Yep, like that. I'm going to do that on the outside walls of the stables. Then take some spruce planks. On the walls in between the different pens, we're going to build them up 2 blocks high like that. And then we'll add some spruce trapdoors on top. Probably don't really need to do that, but I felt like doing that just helps make things a little nicer in between the different stable pens. Then we could take deep slate tile slabs, create a roof. I'm going to create 1 row all the way across on the very top of these wooden posts. Then create 2 rows, 1 slab down. And then create another 2 rows on these posts right here. As such, and we're going to keep them elevated like this. We could have it drop down 1 more, but it made it a little more difficult to get horses in and out of the stables. Then what we can do next is take coarse dirt, and just to make the ground look like it's been trampled and stuff, we can replace most of the grass blocks with coarse dirt. As such, I take some oak fence gates to so they can keep the horses inside, and yes, we can spawn some horses and try not to let them die. That's gonna be a little difficult. Yeah, these places are just a little too skinny to spawn horses in, but they can still fit inside. And then over on the side, we can create a big pile of hay bales to feed the horses with, and now we've completed the stables. Again, the stables would be more ideal for more expensive animals like horses. I mean, you could create a stables for sheep, but you got to prioritize which animals you want protected. If you can afford to protect all the animals, then go right ahead. But this is just to set an example of what could be found in a Castle Bailey. So the next step for filling out the Bailey of Castle Caramel, we're going to build the Blacksmith's Forge. Now, as I stated earlier, a blacksmith's forge was not always present in every single Castle Bailey. It really depended on what the residential lord could afford and the needs of the castle. And I probably should have included this in at least it describes some lore for this castle when I recorded it for Epic Nights. In the original world that I built this castle in, I created a mine nearby that had a lot of iron ore in it that could be smelted into steel ore. And thus that's why there's a blacksmith's forge in this castle, because it was a large producer of steel. To build a blacksmith forge in Castle Caramel, we're going to go to this little pathway that we built a few episodes ago, and follow it straight to the back. What we'll do is create a couple of walls like that. Place a magma block in the back so it could be like molten metal. Place a blast furnace in front. Put a deep slate brick slab right on top so you can kind of hide the regular stone bricks behind it. And what we can do next is take deep slate brick walls, build them up so they can support this sort of roof area right here. I should have known that was not going to work. So let's put deep slate bricks right there and then place a deep slate brick slab right there. So create a little covering for when you're working in the forge. Take a couple stairs right there. Then create a chimney that's going to be 5 blocks tall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then take a campfire, put it on top. Take spruce trapdoors, place them all the way around, and then fold them up. So you got a chimney with smoke coming out at the top. The next we can do is take a deep slate brick, place one right there, put stairs on top, put stairs right there, another deep slate brick, and then a slab right on top right there. Run on to the other side, do the same thing, and that essentially completes the blacksmith forge. And then what I did next was I placed an anvil right about here, right about there, diagonally to this post. And then what we can do next is start building out the rest of the area of the blacksmith's forge. What we can do is take a grindstone, place one pretty close to the anvil. A crafting table can go right about across right there. And then we can actually place an item frame, shift right click to place the item frame, and then place the steel ingot in it. So it's just laying on top. You can actually rotate it if you would like. And the item frame is invisible thanks to the BVT Invisible Item Frames resource pack. What we're going to do next is replace the ground surrounding the blacksmith's forge with regular stone and andesite blocks. Give it a sort of weared down look, but at least it's pretty solid. So this could be a little haphazard, but here's about where I placed it all, if you like to follow along. So that's what I did. And then take some coarse dirt and create, again, a bit of a worn area, but it's still a little less solid. It's not just straight up rock. It's coarse dirt. And then once again, just place coarse dirt here and there just to make it look a little messier. And last, we can take a bunch of barrels and a bunch of sacks and just place them wherever you want to. These are just going to be a bunch of random storage containers. Again, in my Epic Nights review, I just put steel inside just to... Again, as part of the lore of this castle, this is a big steel production castle. So yeah, this castle is largely a big steel producing castle. So here's the blacksmith's forge with all the various barrels and sacks that would be filled with iron ready to be smelted down into steel, or steel ingots ready to be forged into weapons and armor or be shipped out to buyers. Now we can move on to the next structure of Epic Nights. When I said structure, I meant basically decorative items for Epic Nights. We're going to need lots of light sources in the bailey of the castle to provide sufficient lighting, as well as to keep mobs from spawning in here if you're playing survival. So we're just going to place a bunch of, or basically build a bunch of lampposts with spruce fences and lanterns. You can place them where I am right now, because this is what provides the most light around the bailey. The lampposts are 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks tall. Build out one fence to the sides, or you can build two, however many you want, and then put a lantern right from the bottom. I placed another one about back here. A couple of lanterns on that. Another one right here. Whoops. Right by the stables. Actually, I did put one right over here to provide a little more lighting for the walkway into the Castle Caramel. And if you don't want these light posts just to be everywhere and maybe crowding the headspace, the bailey too much, you could just take just basic walls, like andesite walls, and just put a lantern right on top. This way you can still provide sufficient lighting around the bailey, but it is less obtrusive. And of course, since we're decorating, we should place a bunch of grass and flowers around the castle. Now you could do this multiple different ways. You could just take grass itself, place it wherever you want. You could also take ferns, tall grass, tall ferns, and whatever flowers of your choosing. Or you could just use bone meal to grow the grass randomly. I'll admit, it is a little hard to be completely random in Minecraft. It's like, you know, the game is so set. Like, the system is all blocks, so it's hard to be random when everything's at a right angle, everything's a corner, etc. But with some practice, you can make some things look fairly random enough in Minecraft. It just takes, again, a little bit of practice, a little bit of messing around, seeing what looks good, what doesn't look good. Like I said, just take whatever flowers you want to use. And I'm not going to decorate the whole Bailey on recording. I will do that later. Actually, the very last structure we have for the Castle Bailey is a very important one. It will be the toilet, basically. It's one of the names for this would be a garter robe, which is also a name for like a wardrobe. So, you know, words and names just evolve over time, and I've tried to do a little bit of quick research, and it seems like garter robe is a sufficient name for what this is, but we could just call it a toilet or something. But anyway, all we need to do is go over here. I decided to put it at the very back of the castle where it'd be less distracting with the smells and possibly the sights. And it's just going to be a simple little, what we would call today, basically an outhouse. We take a composter, place it in the ground like that, take spruce trapdoors, create a couple walls. No, that's not going to be a sufficient space to sit in there, but that's what I decided to do. And actually, oops. There we go. Wanted it to look like that. And then place a door, like that. There we go. And then we can actually take some coarse dirt just to create a little bit of a pathway to it. And I just realized that's going to destroy the door. There we go. And there we have the medieval garter robe, or the medieval toilet. I felt like it was necessary to put everything they could well, not everything you could possibly find in a Castle Bailey, but I felt like I should get pretty much all the essentials that you need in a Castle Bailey. This is all I got for you guys, so I'm going to finish up decorating, filling out the rest of the Castle Bailey with just grass and other decorative items, and I'll get back to you guys to close the video. Stay tuned. So, now that I finished the Bailey, I want to give you guys a little tour of Castle Caramel and show you guys what I've done. So, of course, up here at the front, we've got the gatehouse with my personal banner on it, which is just split colors, blue and green. Got the portcullises and the murder holes in the roof of the pathway under the gatehouse. Along the pathway, I decided to decorate it with grass and ferns, and as well as expanded my use of flowers from just cornflowers and gerblues to dandelions, poppies, and oxy daisies. Might be a little bit of a broad color spectrum, but I felt, hey, add some more color to the castle, and medieval people love color, which is kind of an unknown fact. Medieval people especially loved color. It's not just all dark and grungy, and dirty. There's more color that could be found in medieval Europe. So, got this secondary gate, got a well over here. This is the castle keep. The stables, blacksmith's forge, pen for the sheep, storage for firewood, the garter robe. So like I said, placed flowers and grass wherever I could to make it as random, but also add a little more color to the castle. You can see the walls and the individual towers with the battlements, including the merlons, the cornels, the matriculations. Then we'll go to the keep. Got a great hall right here. Got a kitchen back here. Barracks. Down here is the undercroft. Lots of storage. Got the postern, the back door right there at the back corner. Look up here, we can see the Solar. Lots of paintings used with the famous paintings resource pack, which I absolutely love. Got one bedroom right here. Another bedroom. And the donjon, basically the Great Tower, which has another barracks at the bottom right here. And we climb up, we can find just a bunch of storage rooms and arrow loops. And at the very top, the highest room of the tallest tower, we've got the dungeon. A couple of prison cells and a great view of the surrounding lands, which I think is actually pretty cool. And that is all for the Bailey, as well as the entirety of Castle Caramel. I am so happy to finally get the complete series out for you guys to watch, follow along, and learn new information about historical castles. For those of you who keep coming back to my channel, I will be taking a short break to regroup and figure out where to take my channel next. If you haven't already, please subscribe so you can stay tuned for when I post my next video. Also leave a like and comment down below. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, farewell.